what's up guys? Finally got the clutch out. Got everything apart. I have some things for show and tell here, but one thing's for sure, you're not gonna believe this. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Ryan. This clutch process was the most grueling that I have done on any longitudinal position V8 period. It was very labor intensive. I'm gonna leave a link below to a video. I'm gonna do 2 videos on this, so I'm gonna leave a link below to another video of which we followed as a guideline to get this clutch job done. I need to take a minute, and I wanted to throw Ryan behind the wheel and let someone new try the no lift shift feature out and let you guys see how that is when you're new. But I had the same picture on my phone that I always put on my no lift shift videos, and I'll put it up here just so you can see. That was all I was showing Ryan, and I just wanted to let him turn loose because, well, we were finishing the clutch off. So that was the day we started the install on the Monster triple disc, and I will just let you guys see here. Got Ryan with me today. Today's the install on the Monster triple disc clutch, but we were taking the car out, warming it up, and I'm gonna let Ryan, just to show you guys, you know, you're not alone or whatever. Before we can finish this clutch off, I wanted to let him try the no lift shift. And this is unedited. Have you tried this before? I
have not tried it, so we're gonna give her a shot, see what happens. We're gonna let it rip.
Yep. So the last time Ryan literally drove this car, I think, what did it have? It had a couple hundred miles on it. It was in the intro. If you see the intro of my video, that was probably like it was over a year ago. So he has had 0 seat time in this car, but I kind of want to give you guys a perspective of somebody that's never tried to no lift shift before. Come to think of it, when's the last time you drove a manual?
It was probably your car.
Oh, really?
That same time.
So over a year ago. Yeah. So we might need to get some miles to get the footwork down.
Come back.
It'll come
just
back.
Like that, like
it's like riding a bicycle, Bo. So yeah, we'll let's go ahead, let's get everything set up, and I'm going to show you guys just how confusing and unnatural this really feels. I've got the exact same picture that I put up on all my no lift shift videos. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm going to show it to Ryan. All right.
Okay.
You got it? You think?
So 5,000, it'll hold it at 64.
So yeah, so basically you're going to rev the car out. You're going to run the gear out till what it says. You're going to hold the gas, only work the clutch and the shift.
Only work the clutch and the shift.
You think?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it already set up?
Okay, we're gonna hop on the road here.
It's already set up to go for it, and your doors. Is it already programmed in? Did you already set it up for no lift? Or is it already built into, or do you have to change it?
it's tuned into the ECM of the car.
Oh, it's tuned into it? You don't have to change it like from sport mode to...
Nope, you ain't gotta do nothing. You can see like the shift time in between shifts and everything. I don't know. What did we get up to? What did it even say? 100. Oh. But you can see the delay. And can you see it? I mean, it's like, it's normal, but we're gonna go out, let's hit the highway, and let's see if we can't get, I wanna get your reaction as far as the shift times, what you think about it, how it feels. Because literally, I think every manual transmission should come with this from the factory. It's just unreal, and I'm gonna leave it there because I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But we're like 2 miles from the highway, so we'll get on the highway, do some pulls. I'll let him talk. Hit it.
Oh, it felt very strange, very awkward. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Did you get it? Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
Whatever you...
Here we go.
Just hold it.
Whoa! Whoa!
Isn't that sweet?
That was, wow, that was right on. I felt it there. It was.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now.
That was amazing.
Here, slow down. Let's create a gap.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you. So hold it till $6,000 and then try it.
Hold it till 6.
6,000. Don't shift till 6. So here, do it. Go. Watch the tack. 6,000. Faster. Faster. Yeah.
Wow, that was a rush.
The badass thing is no matter how fast your footwork is, the computer's way faster than you.
Way faster.
Oh, it's crazy.
Holy crap.
Here, try one more. We got
Wow.
as long as we got enough clutch to get home, that's all I worry about. So go. Faster.
That is a rush.
Isn't that sick?
That is amazing. Wow.
He got it on the first try. I was impressed.
Woo.
Usually people screw it up. So
Holy crap.
kudos to Ryan, man.
Holy
wow. That's good.
Holy.
Yeah.
That was a rush.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you know lift shift.
The ass end, like she wanted to break loose, but it gripped hard. You know what I'm saying? Like
What?
like I could feel all the power transferred to the rear end, like it wanted to break loose.
Right.
And that's a different feeling because when I get in the Merc and I hammer it, it just all of the tires just rip.
It's instantaneous.
But I like the feeling. The feeling's a lot different.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And that no lift shift, it was like 100 times faster than me letting out the gas and you know what I'm saying?
It is.
100 times faster.
But it's like it's seamless.
Oh,
that's the awesome part about it.
Nonetheless, I have all the parts out. I have the components out. This car, as I've stated before, I drive this car hard. I drive this car exactly how I want to. I don't baby it, and I daily drive this car. This car easily has over 100 no lift shifts in it. You know, obviously nobody's gonna sit there and count 1, 2, you know, it doesn't, you know, that's not realistic. I am just guesstimating by my patterns of the way I drive this car. I drive it hard, I daily drive it. I drive the car exactly how I want to. I'm not worried about putting miles on it. I'm not worried about preserving anything about this car. I want to get the full experience of it, and I don't care if I break stuff on this car. I don't know what kind of alien technology General Motors is using with this no lift shift, but here is the clutch disc, and I will get, if I can let it zoom in, you can see it still has all the copper windings in this. Now let it focus, there we go. Now the clutch disc is the better component of all of the components in the clutch, but this thing is fine. It's like brand new. It's just barely broke in. Now on this, I bought the car with 14 miles on it, and when I took this clutch out, it had 21,944 miles of abuse. And I'm gonna say that here's the part where it was on my fault and why I didn't even try to warranty this, because one, when I got the car, I let a bunch of people that wanted to drive the car, I let them drive it. It doesn't matter to me. It's just a Camaro. Yeah, it's a 1LE. Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, it was $50,000. But at the end of the day, obviously, if I let you behind the wheel of my car, I trusted you enough to, you know, experience the car and take care of it. And I mean, I have got full confidence in this car as far as the build quality and how much abuse this car can take. And I'm telling you, I am beyond impressed with that. But clutch disc, that's crazy. If you know what you're looking at, you can still see the copper windings in it, and it looks fine. It looks totally fine. It is insane insane, the build quality on this car. So let's get to the flywheel. I've got a top-down camera set up. Let's get into the components. I'll do a little bit further of a breakdown. I'll let you see the pressure plate and the flywheel. And yeah, let's go. Okay guys, checking out the flywheel. If you know what you're looking at, this car, I don't know how GM does it, but this is immaculate. I could put this car right back in the car and run, man, who knows how many more miles. This clutch is just fine. There's a couple hot spots on it, and if you don't know what a hot spot is, it's basically where the clutch gets hot, and it gets hot enough to basically it's going to get hot enough to discolor or slick over that one surface, and if enough of those accumulate over time, it's just going to glaze the whole surface over and it's going to start slipping. There's other ways to figure out, you know, to diagnose if a clutch is slipping and yada yada and so forth, but I'm gonna save that for another video. So basically how a hot spot is formed is run out, and run out is nothing more than deformation as the clutch heats up and cools down and the metal is expanding, contracting. When it contracts and cools back down, it's not gonna take, even though the metal does have memory to it, it's not gonna take the same shape of which it started at. So therefore it's going to have ridges where that friction disc is going to ride. I'll show you where that friction disc is going to go in and out, in and out. You know, these things are spinning at two different speeds. So as you can see, man, this thing is fine. This thing is perfect. But the run out is nothing more than it's just coming in contact with those little tiny ridges and bumps, and that's pretty much why you can see like these two hot spots. There are a couple little guys here and there. But really, seriously, this is an immaculate shape. I mean, I understand the car had 21,000 miles, well, pretty much 22,000 miles on it when I took it out, but yeah, this is it's perfect. I mean, this is normal wear as far as I'm concerned. I do not know how they're doing it, but that is absolutely crazy that the amount of everything that you think that at 6,000 RPMs, everything, the force and the just inertia of everything going, all those moving parts, this is crazy how the engineers at General Motors have figured this out, how to not hurt these components in this clutch. It baffles me. It's beyond me. I don't know how it does, but this is insane. And I now more so than ever, I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm a painter, but if someone has any idea how this works, leave a comment below, and I would love to debate and talk about this and just understand this some more, because this is crazy. Now, if you're wondering, the SS does run a dual mass flywheel. As you can see, if you can see the, I got a little hold of it here, but yeah, the dual mass flywheel is nothing more than it's just obviously, as you can see, it's made out of two pieces, but it's held together internally by like a spring, kind of, you can think of it, and it's just nothing more than to absorb vibration. You know, you have the harmonic balancer on the front of the crank, and then you're going to have the flywheel, which is balanced, you know, on the back side of the crank, and that's going to help absorb vibration from the cross-plane crank setup as far as harmonics and everything going through the motor. I'm not going to get into all that, but the SS does have a dual mass flywheel. You are not technically supposed to be able to machine these and or resurface these to prep these for another clutch, but there are ways around that. You can use the 3M roll lock. If I find a part number, I'll put it up here, or you can just pretty much Google anything that's gonna, the flapper, 3-inch flapper wheels to prepare welds. I go with like the finest grit that you can. But I'm not going to get into that because I am not taking liability, because that is really easy to mess up. And pretty much they claim that when you do a clutch on these flywheels need to be replaced, and they're expensive. So here's the part where I decided to go with the Monster clutch. Is the pressure plate and the friction disc from GM was about $500-600, which isn't bad. That's cheap for a clutch parts wise. The flywheel was almost $1,000, so it was double the cost of both of them, and all three components needed to be replaced, along with the slave cylinder, which a lot of people don't do. But that was gonna run, you know, you're talking anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 for OE setup. And that was kind of where it came into play, and I'm just like, well, if you're committed to that, why not get something that's rated for over 1,000 horsepower? So yeah, the Monster disc, or you know, the Monster triple disc cost me, you know, over $2,000, but in my eyes it was worth it. Simply because I didn't have time to, if I was able to take this all apart, because there isn't a whole lot of information available on these yet. But the awesome part is that now that I have it apart, I can answer any questions, you know, whatever you guys need to know. But yes, no lift shift, 100% works. It's the same story with the pressure plate. You know, you're gonna have two major hot spots, and I don't know how they're coming through on camera, because camera's gonna pick up pretty much just the worst of it. You know, you've got little tidbits here and there, but pressure plate, it's just fine. The clutch has been out and in my garage for like 2 weeks, so if you're wondering why all that flash rust is all over everything, that's all it is. It was a little bit rusty coming out of the car, but it looked nothing like this. I could definitely put this back in the car and run it, no issues whatsoever. I'm absolutely beyond impressed with what Chevrolet has done with this feature. How they've got it to work, I don't know if they've refined it over the years, but everything in this car, as far as the StabiliTrak and everything that I have encountered with this car, it's beyond impressive. This car takes a beating, and it works. It keeps going, and I haven't had any problems, knock on wood. Okay, this is the slave cylinder. As far as you're gonna get a direct replacement from Monster, as far as, you know, the slave cylinder goes. There's no upgrade, no anything, but I'm gonna say this. The part where I kind of thought my clutch was going was the bite point when I bought the car was, you know, right off the floor. And slowly over time, it's been working its way back. The point where I thought where I had messed up or my clutch was going bad was that pedal was working its way up to the floor, just, you know, further. And I thought maybe that friction disc might have gotten you know, thinner, and I wasn't sure what was going on. Also, the second part to that component is I knew that I'm going to be making power and modding the car. It was worthwhile for me to replace it anyhow, because I have read online that this clutch is really only rated to, like, you know, 450, 500 wheel, and then it starts letting go. So I was kind of, you know, even if the clutch is okay, I had made the decision to be okay with replacing the clutch and just preparing, because it's something you don't want to do. Real quick, I'll put up a video of, you can see how the slave cylinder in the clutch goes, and you'll be able to see the bleeder, as far as you'll be able to see where it is in the bell housing of the transmission. This is next to impossible to get. When I bled the clutch on this thing, it took a quart of brake fluid for me to be able to get all that air out. So by the time me and Ryan had, you know, pumped and then bled the, you know, cracked the bleeder, just keep that in mind when you're bleeding this thing. It's one hose. You know, this is pretty much the feed going in, and then, you know, all it does is push the slave cylinder out, and then this is going to be the I believe it's an 8mm. 8mm socket is what you needed just to crack it loose and, you know, try to get all that air out. So the upgraded option as far as Monster goes and the support bearing release is actually in the slave cylinder here, and it's this part right here. Now this is plastic, and I'll hold it up for the other camera here. Let it focus, cover up my face, but you'll be able to see it is plastic. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Monster's got it right. So over time they're saying that this component right here is the one that melts, and it does nothing more than pretty much when it goes down and in, your slave cylinder is going to look, you know, pretty much just something like that. And then it's going to have, there's a metal ring here that holds everything down. The boot's going to fit up in this little groove right here. And if you ruin this retainer ring right here, and it's easy to do, I mean, in one way it's kind of hard to do if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, but in another sense, it's very thin and delicate, and I could see how someone could accidentally mess it up. If you mess up that retainer ring, this whole thing is useless, and you're gonna need to buy another slave cylinder. So food for thought, just do what I did. Practice on your old one, take your old OE out and practice on that one. I'm happy I did. I kind of disfigured the first one, but it's super simple to figure out. I mean, you do one and then you go to the next, you'll have a really good idea of how much pressure it's going to take to pop out. And with this one, you'll be able to test it and not worry about if you're going to mess it up or not. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it, guys. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna do another video explaining on the tips and what I would do different other than the video of you know, being able to get access at the transmission and removing the bell, you know, getting all the bolts of the bell housing and everything. So if you have any questions or anything, drop them below. I'll get to everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I will catch you guys on the next video. Until then, later.